ever been thinking and then you thought and you were like, is this thought really mine? Or did I get handed this thought? Most people think that they're thinking for themselves, but are they really? Or are they just repeating what they've been told, liking what they've been programmed to like, and believing what's been handed to them like a script? If you've ever caught yourself wondering, wait a minute, do I actually think this? Or did I just inherit this belief? Then this video is for you. Today, I'm breaking down a few ways to actually think for yourself, so you can move through the world with clarity, confidence, and a mind that's truly your own. Let's get into it. I'm the ignorant intellectual, the bridge between the hood and the ivory tower. Black brilliance, formal education, not required. You ever been thinking and then you thought and you were like, is this thought really mine? Or did I get handed this thought? If it was good enough for mama then it's good enough for me. Hell no. I know I've been there. Then I thought about it. And I was like, I don't want to think this no more. So I stopped thinking it. How to think for yourself. The first way I would say how to think for yourself is to follow the impulses. Impulses, in my opinion, is how God speaks to us. So do your best not to be scheduled all the time so that you can follow the impulse. But that means you have to slow down to hear them. An impulse to text somebody, an impulse to move something from here to there, an impulse to call somebody, an impulse to take a charger out of the wall and put it in a suitcase earlier than you normally would. An impulse, an impulse, an impulse. How many times have you ignored the impulse and regretted it? Ignoring one seemingly small impulse can honestly be the beginning of a downward spiral. What are the language of impulses? In my opinion, the language of the impulse is something told me to take the charger out of the wall, or you've been on my mind. I meant to call you. I've heard many times people say, somebody was on my mind. I meant to call them and the inevitable happened. They passed away before I could call them. So one way to think for yourself is to follow the impulses. Another way is to study yourself. Become a student to you. What pisses you off? What makes you happy? And to learn the emotions that are not just like to study yourself in a way where you learn the emotions that aren't just the extreme emotions. Happy, sad, pissed, tired. Like what are the emotions that sit between happy and elated? What are the emotions that sit between angry and frustrated? Study yourself. Study the things that make you happy. Study your behaviors. Like I noticed that I tend to study my spending habits. I noticed that if I am in a situation where I'm frustrated, I become so worthy. And I start spending money because I'm worthy of all the good things. Like on a trip, if the Airbnb, or if I'm just flustered in travel, even if it's outside of the budget, I'll rationalize to myself and be like, I'm worthy of all good things. I work hard as hell. I can buy this, blah, 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 blah. Study yourself. Study the things that send you to extreme pissed off and study the things that make you pissed off enough where you can reel yourself back. Study yourself. Another way that you can think for yourself is to think about your thoughts. Think about your thoughts. My brand, the Ignorant Intellectual, is all about creating spaces for us to think about our thoughts. The scientists call it metacognition. I prefer saying think about your thoughts. But spend time thinking about your thoughts. Spend time thinking about your thoughts. Why do I think that? What is that? When did I begin to think that? Did I shift that? What do I mean by that? Where did that thought even come from? Why do I think that? What is the sponsoring thought of that thought? Think about your thoughts. Another way for us to think for ourselves. Update your beliefs. Update your beliefs. Update your beliefs based on new information. Update your beliefs based on aging. Update your beliefs based on new experiences. You get to change your mind. Update your beliefs. There are some beliefs that we are carrying that are just simply expired. Update your beliefs. In updating your beliefs, you might piss some people off because you're leaving people behind who still have old beliefs. Update your beliefs. Tweak your beliefs. There are things that I used to buy into forever ago that feminine men were XYZ. As a kid, before I even came out the closet, before I even realized I was queer, I used to think I was strictly dickly. Child, update your beliefs. And it don't have, and matter of fact, let me back up. I'm not even necessarily talking about negative beliefs. You can update neutral and positive beliefs. Living in New York for 10 years, I can't even count how many beliefs I've updated. Living in New York was a saving grace. And it's not all negative beliefs that I updated. They could have been neutral beliefs. But I would dare say there are people who put stakes in the ground and who brag on the fact that they haven't updated beliefs because they believe that means they 10 toes down, that I'm not going to change. That shit is whack. If you're still carrying a majority of the same beliefs you were carrying from high school, that's a problem. That's a red flag for me. That's a red flag for me. Another way to think for yourself is to be careful what you take on as an ideology or a guiding belief. Be careful what you take on as an ideology or a guiding belief. That also probably means be careful what you consume. There are beliefs, and then there are beliefs that become guiding ideals. Those are belief systems. A belief is a thought that you have over and over. And so a belief that becomes a belief system, you got to be careful what you're taking on as your core beliefs. And they got a lot of people that, it's probably everyone has some type of belief that is problematic. I do have a theory that everyone has a belief that would make someone shudder. But we have to be careful what we take on as an ideology, as like core guiding beliefs. When we are careful what we take on, that increases us thinking for ourselves. But when we are not careful what we take on and we just mindlessly take on shit as a belief, you're probably not thinking for yourself because you're just taking shit on as a belief, not even assessing what you believe in. I love the children who question everything. I was a child who questioned everything, but I really value people and children who question everything because they're not letting everything slip into their belief. They question this shit. And if it don't add up, it ain't seeping in. Because they're careful what they're taking on as an ideology or a guiding belief. Because there are beliefs and then there are beliefs that become guiding ideas. Like we have to be careful what we let guide us. And that is all about thinking for yourself. So another thing is develop an analysis that goes beyond your lived experience. You ever hear somebody say, one person will say one thing and another person will counter that with, that's not true because I checks the fuck out. I checks the fuck out because the counter to someone's experience that's not true because my experience is different. Develop an analysis that goes beyond your lived experience. An identity is not an analysis. I want to be clear about that. And we saw that during DEI times when they were plucking and plopping all kind of people of the global majority. We used to say people of color into all of these diversity positions, but they carried a lens of whiteness. So shit wasn't changing because they plucked them and plopped them based on the identity or the race that they carried, the ethnicity. But their analysis was still whitewashed. So we saw that an identity is not an analysis. So please develop an analysis that goes beyond your identity. I can't stand cigarette smoke. I'm so glad that we no longer smoke in buildings. But when I lived in New York, there was a policy that was enacted called smoke-free NYCHA. Now, let's say that I lived in a NYCHA building. I would have been very happy that people could not smoke in NYCHA. But I also am against smoke-free NYCHA because smoke-free NYCHA is a program that increases snitching because it incentivizes people to snitch on their neighbors who are smoking. The majority of people who live in NYCHA are mothers of the global majority. So the impact is more likely to burden mothers of the global majority. So just because my ass don't like cigarette smoke, don't mean that I think a policy should be enacted that would benefit what I like. It's called smoke-free NYCHA. But I'm still not with smoke-free NYCHA because I have an analysis that says the most burdened people who would be impacted by this policy is fucking racist and sexist. Because I got to have an analysis that goes beyond my lived experience. I could easily get up in a community meeting at NYCHA and be like, yeah, y'all need to roll out smoke-free NYCHA because I don't like cigarette smoke anyway. And that's how a lot of y'all be sounding because you don't have an analysis that goes beyond your lived experience or beyond your desires and your what you like. That's why a lot of y'all out here wanting trans women to be locked up in men's prisons because you don't like trans women because of your perspective around trans women instead of understanding the impact of locking trans women up in men's prisons. Because your homophobia supersedes your understanding and rationale around impact of policies. So please, to increase the likelihood or to make it back to the video about thinking for yourself, one way to think for yourself is to develop an analysis that goes beyond your identity. And we can see so many examples of placing people in positions based on an identity, but those people carry an analysis rooted in whiteness and fuck shit. All right. So another way to think for yourself is to feel and do the things. Travel, try the thing, ask the person, shoot the shot, apply for the job, pitch the idea. Try the thing. Try the thing that you're not good at. Try the thing you have not mastered yet. Pitch to the person who you think might be out of your league that works at the company that you think may be too big for you. Pitch. Do it. Shoot your shot to the person that you think might be out of your league. Send the DM. Travel to the place alone. Because if you're waiting for a whole bunch of fucking people to be ready to go on a trip, girl, you ain't going nowhere waiting on people. 90-something% of the time I travel, especially internationally, I'm by myself because I can't wait on people. So feel the feels and do the things. That is another way to think for yourself. Now, second to last way to think for yourself. Be honest about what things are designed for. Be honest about what things are designed for. Because we out here lying to ourselves and to everybody else. We lie to ourselves and then we gasping when things function as they're designed to function. Let's start deep. White supremacy is designed to kill black bodies. Then when it kills black bodies, the black people that didn't kill, oh my God, it killed black bodies. Girl, white supremacy is designed to kill black bodies. And I'm gonna need all the black people who it didn't kill to stop gasping when it kills a black body. Y'all be going up in these, y'all be taking y'all black asses into these Ivy League institutions, gasping when you start getting fibroids and all the immune diseases because you in the PhD program at Harvard and you want to brag that you at Harvard, but you want all of the sympathy in the world because you now have an autoimmune disease because you are in the whitewash PhD program and you ain't have nary autoimmune disease before you got there. And now that you in that program, honey, you is sick as a dog. Oh my God, girl. Harvard is not designed for your health, okay? Grapes do not yield orange juice. The function of electric fences are to shock with electricity. The clitoris is designed solely for pleasure. We have to be honest about what things are designed for and stop gasping and fiending shock when the thing that it is designed for functions in the way that it is designed for. It is our best bet to start being honest about what people, places, and things are designed for. Baby, save yourself from the full outrage, okay? That is another way for you to think for yourself. Be honest. We be out here mad when Mitch McConnell's every fucking time. Even when it look like he do right shit, it be late. Because why? Mitch McConnell is Mitch the bitch, child. Like, stop. Whiteness is gonna white and blackness is gonna black. Okay? Last on my list, how to think for yourself. Might sound counterintuitive, but accept that it is impossible to 100% think for yourself. I know. You know that a chair is a chair because when you were born, it was already called a chair. You were born into a world with existing nomenclature. I know that loud ass ambulance is an ambulance because I was born into a world where it was already called an ambulance. We were born into a world with existing nomenclature, morals, values, titles, names. I know this is called a speaker because, girl, they told me it was a speaker. This is called a cup because they told me it was a cup. I didn't make that shit up. So we have to accept that it is impossible to 100% think for ourselves. And that is a way to think for yourself. I find that a lot of us, and it may be because of our oppression around blackness, a lot of us don't want to concede that there are systems and structures that are already in power controlling some of our movements. And maybe because those systems are so great and powerful, we don't want to concede to them and we want to have some semblance and reclamation of power, that we deny their power. But girl, they out there. They controlling movements. They controlling us in some ways. Yes, you have agency. Yes, you have internal power. Yes, you can control a lot in your life. But them big systems and structures, accept that you can't 100% think for yourself. That is one way to think for yourself. So those are some of the ways in which you can think for yourself. Accept that you can't 100% think for yourself. Be honest about what things are designed for. Feel and do the things. Develop an analysis that goes beyond your lived experience. Be careful what you take on as a guiding belief. Be careful what you let guide you. Ooh. Update your beliefs, good or bad. Think about your thoughts. Study yourself. And the first one was follow the impulses. Those are ways to think for yourself. I'm the Ignant Intellectual, the bridge between the hood and the ivory tower. Drop some more ways that you believe increase the chances of you thinking for yourself. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Remember, you ain't gotta agree with me, but at least know why you think what you think. Peace.